Hello! Time to talk about my creative challenge. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the following. What the challenge is, my routine and supplementation, which is very related to the challenge itself, some inspirations that are also related to what is happening, some backstory, and some side quests that are also kind of related to the whole thing. My name is Elliot, or Ilya. I go by the name of Elliot Black here in the digital world. I call this challenge The Dive. Now, this is a little bit of a background for all the subscribers that are currently watching my videos. Thank you. And so you might have noticed that I've been posting a lot here and there, this and that. In order for you to understand why, also pretty crucial is that to fellow creators or to anyone who is in a creative pursuit, me personally being a creator and having been stuck in some kind of weird limbo state where you're not really moving, but you're moving, but you're not moving. You're not able to make things happen the way you really want to. I've been there and I am in a much better position now. And that's why I want to share with you this whole thing that is happening, and maybe you're gonna get something out of it. So this challenge is called The Dive. I've came up with this name because it kind of encapsulates what is happening in my life right now. So in 3 months, I have to make 12 music videos. That is 4 music videos per week, per month, and 1 music video per week. Now, each music video is supposed to be a broader description, broader expression of the given piece of art that is already kind of ignited there. In the last several years, I've been writing a lot of poetry and music, and now they're sitting mainly in my computer, and I feel that I want to open them up to bring them forth as a whole piece of art. In order for them to make sense, to really see what they are, this concept of a music video kind of really resonates with me because, okay, what goes into making this music video? So the audio part is recording vocals and instruments, mixing and mastering the track. Then video is coming up with the idea for the video. That is always a blank slate at first. And then filming the video, maybe do a performance of some kind. That is also another expression that I didn't do before. Apart from, like, there was music, there was words written, but now, apart from the visual aesthetic side of things, there is also me embodying the idea, embodying the art. And finally, after filming the video, there is the part of montage, merging the two together. And that is actually also interesting because in that process, it unravels before you. It kind of clicks and it kind of doesn't click if it doesn't click, but you see the final thing. You start to see it merging together. So important to note that I have these songs written already. Some are like 50% done, some are 100% done. Some need changes, some need to have vocals re-recorded, some need instruments re-recorded. There's a lot of variety there. So there is a base already with which I can work with, but I need to really finish each song. There's still a lot of work there. So in order to make this whole thing happen, I understood that I have to be sharp and focused. What I noticed is that one of the main things is actually the routine. You have to orient yourself in order to make that happen. I have to feel biologically well. I have to be mentally clear as well. So this is a crucial part, and I would really like to emphasize this and share this with you now. So this is how my routine goes throughout the day. At 6 a.m. I wake up, take a cold shower. 6:30 I make sure I am already in the gym. I have a roughly 50-minute workout. Then I make sure that at 7:30 I'm already back home where I have breakfast, and I have this slot up until around 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock I start to write. That is my first session of work. I start writing for an hour, or I write for an hour and a half, something like that. Then I take a break. I usually go for a walk, 10-15 minutes. I go back home, and what follows is 3 sessions of work on the goal, which is that given music video. So depending on what music video, what project I am working on that given week, I focus on the specific part of that goal. Usually it's music or video. Like either I'm mixing, either I'm recording something, or filming something, or doing the video montage. I separate these sessions of work with breaks, 10-15 minute breaks. Then after 2 such long sessions of 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, I have lunch, and then I have another session of work. And from this point on, my activities vary. So I might take a longer break. I might go work on another project that I have, which might take me up until like 9 in the evening. I try to squeeze in a vocal practice 3 to 4 times a week. I might do it during noon. What else? Let's check my notes. I try to manage my social media accounts and do some marketing here and there. I might continue working on that given project throughout the whole evening up until I go to sleep. So, because if that is what the project demands, I feel that I have to do this. I have to be there. And I've noticed that that is actually where the dive happens. When you have your day fragmented into these slots of work, it's good and it's essential, but it's a logical approach to your task at hand, to your day, to what you're doing. Whereas if sometimes the creative process demands you to dive deep into it, where it is that is more important than you, than your health, than your other priorities, than whether it's your sleep or it's your whether you have eaten or not, whether you're hunched over or not at the computer, or whatever it is that you're doing, that doesn't matter. That comes second. First comes the process, the act of engaging in the act, the making of it. That is where you dive. That is where you lose yourself and you kind of become there with the creative act itself, and with you're in the other realm, you're in there. So that is very exciting. I've noticed that happen when I was making the video for Shake, and it was very intense, and I dived deep into it. And really, I know that you cannot really do that always, but that is the essence of the creative process. It's the most beautiful part of it. It's not these slots where you're like approaching things in a logical manner, where you're like, okay, I have to work now for 1 hour, an hour and a half. That is fine, that is needed, but don't neglect these parts where you're diving deep. And it's essential to have that looseness in the whole project. To be loose in your schedule, I found that to be essential. And in general, I notice my routine varies here and there. So, for example, I am pretty strict about the first 5 hours of the day. I did, for example, exchange one time my writing session in the morning, which is fine, but I know that I had a really solid reason for doing that. If you're not really dependent 100% on your schedule, you're not completely strict, it helps you get the flow going. Maybe you don't want to do something a given day. Maybe you want to dive into it completely. Maybe you feel that something demands more of your attention. Okay, let's break it down a bit. So breaks, what I do during breaks. Usually I go for a 10 to 15 minute walk. Very good. Absolutely essential to keep the body moving, to keep your mental state clean, and to balance it out. It's about variety. It makes things happen because you're making like an oscillation, You're working, you're resting. You're working, you're resting. Also, I might do some stretching, some sit-ups, some push-ups. Maybe I will lay down. Very good. What I'm guilty of is scrolling sometimes during breaks, so that is something I'm working on. Don't do that. My workouts, what I do during workouts. 3 times a week, I do weight training. And 3 times a week, I do cardio. I run for 30 minutes. So weight training, cardio, weight training, cardio, weight training, cardio. Then I have a day off. Trying to squeeze in sauna 1 or 2 times a week. So far, I did it 1 time last week. Also, very important, I did a blood test the month before this creative challenge. It revealed that I have zinc and vitamin D deficiency and low levels of ferritin. I adjusted my supplementation accordingly. So now what I'm taking is zinc, iron, vitamin D, fish oil, alpha-GPC, and L-tyrosine. So the last 2 are for mental awareness and focus. The cool thing is that you actually feel the difference. I actually feel the difference when I'm taking these. It's like you're in here. If I would present a comparison of how it feels like, it's as if, whereas when you're not taking it, oftentimes the way I would feel like is, okay, I'm aware of the present moment. I'm also aware of the 10 seconds prior to now and 10 seconds after now. Whereas with taking alpha-GPC and L-tyrosine, I feel that I'm aware of the last half an hour or hour of the now and of the half an hour or hour after. And also you kind of see things around you. But it's more of a like focus, awareness kind of thing. It's very subtle, but it's actually there and it's very cool. So since I fixed my supplementation, my energy levels are better. Of course, I'm keeping my diet in check as well. I eat 3 times a day, roughly speaking. Try to not to snack. That's fucking brutal thing to snack for me. Yeah, also very important, drink water. Drinking water is like, it changes everything, and getting enough sleep as well. But I noticed that, for example, not just drinking, okay, I drank water today. Making sure that you're drinking water throughout the whole day. I noticed it in contrast. When I'm drinking water, I notice my energy level baseline is higher, as if. It keeps me like my vitality better, higher. So yeah, this whole thing is essential. It's like a foundation from which I can like pursue what I want creatively. It's in a way also the balance of the 2 opposites. Is this biological, logical approach to things and the essential things that we kind of sometimes neglect, and because they're not artistic, they're not that important. I'm an artistic person, I don't need to do this or that. No, this is a whole approach, you know? You're like looking at it as a whole thing. Okay, so let's talk about inspirations. Also quite important, and it kind of keeps me out of my labyrinth and it helps me straighten out my path. Quite related to the routine at hand and the creative pursuit. The just mentioned Andrew Huberman really helps me with my focusing on my body, mental state, what is right and what is wrong. Maybe something should be adjusted in my routine or in my habits. So the other guy is Dan Koh. He talks a lot about yourself being the brand, about finding your niche. Stimulates my philosophical approach infused with psychology and creativity. You know, it helps me be ambitious and find my place in the world, find the courage that is already there, you know. Rick Rubin, absolutely critical. I mean, I resonate with this guy the most out of everyone who I find on the internet. He speaks about the creative process itself and how you are the same thing in a way. You are the creative force, you are the creative energy. He's so crucial. I resonate with his ideas so deeply, and you kind of understand how to orient yourself. It's not like you're learning something new. It's as if you're really finding your own voice by listening to him or reading his ideas. So really highly recommend his book, The Creative Act. This is if not then one of the best books that I own. It's absolutely amazing. And many more, of course, including like Joe Rogan and the guests he has, Jordan Peterson, Lex Friedman. And also I like to dive into the perspectives of other creative people, the artists, musicians, actors. Now I will share a little bit of a backstory that is related to this challenge. So I left my office job after 5 years of working from this year's September 1st. I'm quite aware that my feeling good is related to the fact that I have left the work that I dread. I hated it. I was in a limbo state for such a long time. I couldn't do the thing that I have to do, you know. Over the past several years, roughly from 2020, I've been writing poetry, music, but it was always like not fully. It was a weird state. A lot of that ended up as a part of my book that I released in April of this year. This book has the material of what I had written throughout 2022. Stories, movie scenes. It's in the form of poetry, but it's put into one cohesive storyline throughout the whole book, told through 50 different poems. Now, this is a nugget of self-expression, and I kind of externalized it. Some songs that I have written have lyrics from this book, basically. They are the same poems. This book has one dimension of expression. Those songs have another dimension of expression. With these music videos, it's possible to bring that all together into one whole piece of art, to represent it in a different light, and to make it whole, to make the most whole piece of self-expression as I possibly can, tapping into the most deep humanity as I possibly can. The challenge is to decrypt the nuggets that I have and express them into something more that they are at this point. All the emotions that I felt, it's anxiety, hope and hopelessness, hate, frustration, love, creation, awe, beauty, all of these things need to be expressed. And I hope to convey beauty, truth, meaning. Hopefully it's going to turn out into something great. I would like to also express some gratitude for all of this, that I'm able to do this, that I have this equipment, that I have the possibility of these 3 months, the finances to sustain myself for 3 months, to do this without the attachment to some work or something else. I'm grateful for, that I have the gym 3 minutes away from me, that I can eat breakfast sitting at my window still watching the sunrise. It's fucking insane. And to all the people, to my family, my parents, my friends, to everyone who stumbles across a video or anything that I made on the internet, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. I'm really grateful for that. It's, I tell myself that I don't care what other people think, that I'm not making it for other people, which is true, but is also not true. I really do care what you think. And I'm really happy when you like something, when you resonate with something. One of the hopes of all of this is that we resonate. And I hope you took something away from this video. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope we meet again. I hope you stick around. See you later. There's a lot to come. Bye-bye.